Hello everybody, I'm Rusty. I want to welcome you to Island Breeze Tropicals. So today we're going to be looking at a really cool species from Brazil. It's called Aechmea Gamosepala. So you know what? The sun is shining, the island breeze is blowing. It's time that you and I got growing. Come on, let's have some fun and let's look at Aechmea Gamosepala. So okay guys, this is Aechmea Gamosepala, and it's a really cool species that comes from Brazil. Remember, a species means that you can go out into the wild and find it growing out there naturally. This is not a cultivar, and it has a really cool inflorescence. And I'm going to show you that right here, but we're going to have some really cool close-ups. Now, one of the cool things about Aechmea Gamosepala is that the inflorescence comes in 3 stages. It has the first stage where you see these beautiful colors on there. The second stage, and I'm going to show you that, is where it actually fades to green. And if you take a look right there, you can see that no, there's no color. And that really fools us because we think that there is an end to the inflow, and that's not true. It will actually turn a nice bright red. Now, Gamosepala here in the United States will put out inflows generally around November to December, sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little bit after, but in general, that's when you're going to see it. No idea for my friends in the Southern Hemisphere, but this is a really cool little species. Now, as you can see, it's green, but I think the inflorescence is really something worth waiting for. Now, this is a very quick growing plant, and that's because it is green. It produces an awful lot of carbohydrate because it's green. Remember, chlorophyll, sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, that makes carbohydrate, which makes for an awful lot of growth. Right here, this started out as one adult and a small pup about a year ago, maybe a little bit more. Now, they will respond to fertilizer. Now, they will respond to fertilization, again, because they're green. You don't have to worry about losing any other colors. If you do decide to give them some fertilizer, keep your nitrogen down a little lower, even though, again, that's not going to be an issue because you're not going to be taking color out of the plant. And if you know when it's going to come into an inflow, stop your fertilization about 3 months before that time. Now, one of the cool things about Gamosepala is it will handle quite a bit of sun, even here in Southwest Florida where the sun is pretty intense. It does like its water in full sun, but I got to tell you, every time we've tested it, it's tested to be really, really hardy. So Aechmea Gamosepala is a species. You can find it if you go walking around somewhere in Brazil. And as you can see, it is a prolific pupper. This plant was planted with one rosette and its pup about a year ago. And take a look at the clump. Now, it is a quick grower, and one of the reasons for that, as you can see, it's a green plant. So it uses that chlorophyll along with sunlight, water, carbon dioxide in order to make carbohydrate, and that carbohydrate results in some prolific growth. So when you get all of that carbohydrate, you get all of those plants, and then you will get multiple inflows, and take a look at those coming out of that plant. Now, they've been out about a week to a week and a half, and they are getting ready to unfurl. I'm going to show you a close-up of them in just a minute. And we're going to zoom on in here and hopefully be able to show you how many there are in this one plant. So take a look at all of the inflows that are on this plant. And that's what makes this such an interesting bromeliad to have, because you can grow it as you can with all bromeliads without repotting, because remember, it gets water in the cup. and that takes care of its water needs. It will grow better if you give it some room, but this is in a 6-inch pot, and take a look at all the inflows that are coming out of this clump. So because it is a green plant, its main feature is going to be the inflows that come out. By the way, we've had some videos about what an inflorescence is. I think it's in the Bromeliad anatomy part of our channel. So why don't you go take a look at that? That will explain it a little bit better. But why don't we take a close-up of these guys and let me show you the different phases that this inflorescence will go through. Okay, so this shows you the inflow on this Aechmea Gamosepala as it is starting to flower. And you can see that it goes from the bottom to the top in maturity. Here's a really nice shot showing you of a very immature inflorescence. Okay, so this is after the inflow has already flowered, and as you can see, it looks like it's finished. But no, you need to leave this on here, and I'm going to show you what this will turn into. Okay, so kind of as promised, I'm going to show you what the inflow looks like when it starts to change into red, and I have an example here. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here a little bit. So we'll zoom in here a little bit, and you can see that this is starting to transition from the green and starting to turn red. So anyway, guys, I'm really disappointed. I was hoping by now to be able to show you how vivid the red color is, and this is the only example I've got in the entire shade house, and I've got probably 20 or 30 of these plants. Now, this video has actually been recorded sequentially, and so I started it a few weeks ago when the inflows started coming out, and I was hoping I would have a better example, so my bad. But I'm going to kind of zoom in here and let you see that yes, it will turn red. Not quite as red as I had promised, but nevertheless, if you take a look at the color, it is worth waiting for, and this will last quite a long time. And this will last probably, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks in the red color. Now, Aechmea Gamosepala makes a really good ground cover, and no, this isn't in the ground. This is on a sales table at Sundance Orchids and Bromeliads in Fort Myers, Florida. But I think you can get an idea how well this plant would adapt to being a ground cover. Can you imagine having that in your garden? Now this gives you a really good idea. I'm going to see if I can zoom in. Now this gives you a really good idea as to what the flowers look like, and those are the flowers, guys. Remember, this is an inflorescence, which is a structure of many flowers. We have a video on that. You should go look at it if you haven't. But those blue ends are actually flowers, and if you take a look, I'm going to bring it over here. You can see one is still closed, but look at that one right there, and that one is starting to open. And what that does is signal the end of this one particular stage of the inflorescence, and the flowers all open from bottom to top on the inflow. So anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed learning about Aechmea Gamosepala. It's a really cool little Aechmea, and maybe you might like to have one in your collection. So no matter where you are, I hope your sun is shining. I hope you have an island breeze blowing. I know that you need to keep growing, have lots of fun. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.